world cannot hurt a man who is okay with no applause or praise from anyone. Look at what it says right here in the Bible. Galatians chapter 1, verse 10. For do I now persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? Question mark. If I still pleased men, I would not be a bondservant of Christ. So this just told me straight up that I can't please God if I care about what other people think about me. Why do I even care what other people think about me in the first place? Where did that even come from? Let's go ahead and jump to my favorite book in the Bible, Genesis chapter 2, verse 25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. Adam and Eve are walking around in the garden naked, and they didn't even know because their eyes were solely focused on God's presence. That just made me realize that when I'm 100% focused on God, I don't even have thoughts that there's anything wrong with me. But then Genesis 3:7 happens. Then the eyes of both of them were open and they knew that they were naked. But the thing that got me as I read this, bro, is that they were already naked. The only thing that changed here was their eyes, their perception of the situation. It went from being okay to not being okay. That's called self-consciousness. Self-consciousness is when I turn my eyes away from God's presence and I start evaluating myself through my own eyes and the eyes of others. Once that happens, bro, 4 dangerous things are going to enter into our lives. Number 1 is shame. It says they hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. When shame kicks in and I start caring about what others think, I start to think that God made a mistake and I changed the original way that he made me, which is very unique amongst billions of people, and I start to fit in. That brings us to number 2, which is fear. In Proverbs 29:25, it says, the fear of man brings a snare. A snare is a trap. Once you start to fear what others think about you, you start code switching, changing your behavior, and watering down the thing that makes you stand out amongst others. And that leads us to number 3, which is comparison. In 2 Corinthians 10:12, it says, but they, measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves, are not wise. It's not wise for me to compare myself to others and what they got, because then I'll never feel enough in the thing that God gave me. And that leads us to number 4, which is double-mindedness. In James chapter 1, verse 7, for let not that man suppose that he will receive anything from the Lord. He is double-minded man, unstable in all of his ways. And this is where I end up in the intersection where, like, I trust God and I want to go one way, but then what are people going to think about me? So I should probably just go that way. So that all made me realize, bro, that getting drunk off the praise of others will literally kill you. So what's the cure? Psalm chapter 62, verse 5. My soul wait silently for God alone, for my expectation is from him. I don't care what other people think because my expectation comes from the source. I know that was a lot, bro, but I pray that helped you. Share this with a brother who needs it. And if you want more content like this, I'll share it with you as an email every morning at 5 o'clock a.m. Just comment the word email below.